Well, hey, Dirk, what else have you been up to this week? Anything else
I've got
to tell
some
us?
news.
Ooh.
Actually, yeah. The Driftwood Dirigible Company, Driftwood Isles' #1 airline, has announced a new fleet of themed blimps. They're trying to appeal to younger generations because statistics say the youth aren't utilizing blimp travel as much as older folks. So the Driftwood Dirigible Company is commissioning a line of blimps based on the works of John C. Reilly. Each blimp is covered in images of Reilly performing his most iconic roles, including Amos Hart from Chicago, Reed Rothschild from Boogie Nights, Dan Brown in The Hours, and Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph, among many more.
That was him.
Yeah,
I was hoping for Dewey Cox.
they could introduce that. These are just the ones they've announced in the press release. Yeah,
That's a great idea.
They're hoping young people will want to ride on every one of the John C. Reilly blimps, collecting each ticket, because each ticket will also feature an image of the face of John C. Reilly's character from that particular film and blimp, and thereby achieve a, quote, full Reilly.
The youth do love John C. Reilly.
They do. He's big here
He's
among
such
younger
a big
generations.
deal. Like, he is a TikTok star. And who knew that a man that wears a beautiful three-piece tweed suits and a fetching hat would be really speaking to the youth of today?
He just gets it.
He gets that.
They say that all the time. People ask them, why do you love John C. Reilly so much, so very, very much? And they just say, guy gets it.
Because you'd think it would be his more comedic turns in Walk Hard or Step Brothers, but really they are big for the John C. the John C. Reilly dramatic arts.
Mr. Cellophane is one of the most popular Halloween costumes year after year.
That was a thing that I know a lot of people, when the movie Chicago came out, were upset that song made it in, because a lot of people are saying that song is only in the musical to give the other actors time to prep for the next song. And here we do have screenings that are just a cellophane cut of Chicago that the youths are dying. They just cut out all the songs and scenes that he's not in.
It's only John C. Reilly's scenes.
Yeah.
I consider that song to be, I know that it's like to give other people a chance to
in a
recover.
live musical.
In a live musical. But they say that I think it's really to give them a chance to go back and think to themselves, how can I be more like John C. Reilly?
You just know that they shot that scene. It's just Richard Gere and Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones are just
Standing off screen.
Staring, just like, how can I be more like him?
This guy gets it. It's probably what they were thinking.
I'm really excited. I mean, I know that the blimp is arguably the slowest form of travel, the most
Pretty
cumbersome.
inarguable at this point. Yeah.
Like, it's cumbersome. I once was taking a blimp back up north and a slight breeze got it and I ended up way in the west.
Bad luck there.
So, yeah, you're never guaranteed to go where you think you're going to go as well.
But sometimes in life, you don't go where you think you're going to go.
Let him finish.
But you go where you need to go.
Let him finish.
And then you go where you want to go.
Let him finish.
But then you go where you are.
That's beautiful. Wow. That's so beautiful. Wow.
This is a great day for my writing.
Oh, they're back.
Okay.
They're back.
They're back. Good.
Yeah, I think you might finish the second book today.
We could just have the dictation of this, and this will be the second book.
Yeah, I mean, we know the tapes exist. We checked tapes earlier. We know that the tapes are recording and that everything's fine with the tapes.
Sometimes, in the past, it has happened where someone forgot to put the tapes in.
Fucking Matthias.
Ridiculous. I can't believe Matthias would do that.
And sometimes
it's like one of his only jobs.
Sometimes the cameras have a little different flashing color light and it freaks me out a little bit, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine with them.
I don't know why instead of green.
Why would they have a different color light? Doesn't make any sense.
It's almost like they want to take part in the show. They want to tell us a story.
It is kind of confusing where some cameras have green light that means they're working and some have red that means it's recording. Just pick a color.
That's true.
Pick a lane.
Opposite colors that mean the same thing. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Sometimes in life.
Oh no, the eyes.
What is opposite for one person is the same for the other. Sometimes in life, what is good for one is bad for other.
Let him finish.
Sometimes in life, green good. Sometimes in life, red good.
Let him finish.
Sometimes in life, green and red, stop and go, front and back.
Oh, and he's back.
Are the same.
Oh.
I only remember saying are the same.
Yeah, your eyes turned normal before. That was you. That was present you.
That was all Dirk. Not fugue state Dirk. Not space Dirk.
Oh God, do we need to get the board back to add another Dirk to another state of Dirk?
There's so many under the Dirk category. There's so many subsections.
States of Dirk.
States of Dirk. States of Dirk.
I hate to look at the lower sections of those. It gives me no pride to look at the lower ends of that spectrum.
We don't speak of genocide Dirk.
Some of the states of Dirk we never even knew about. It was Terry Wu that told us about them because they only happen real deep in the party.
Yeah.
Terry Wu knows the deepest parts of my soul.
Mm-hmm.
All of our souls, really.
Yeah. Terry Wu, it's true. His musical talent allows him to tap into the deepest parts of people.
I spend 3 of the last 5 weeks in a confined space with Terry, and we shared a lot.
Weren't you glad to have Terry with you in those dark times?
It's like a breath of fresh air to have a familiar face in there and not a bunch of suspected murderers. He was a suspect as well, but it was always kind of like, oh, this is not going to be Terry.
Yeah.
He's a good
And
kid.
anytime there's like a guy that you don't want to be the murderer, it's probably not them.
Yeah. Anytime where you're like, oh man, it would really be sort of emotionally difficult, but in an interesting way for this one person to be the murderer, it's never them.
Never them.
Never them.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Much to everyone's relief, you know.
Yeah. Phew.
Few.
You know who Terry Wu knows? John C. Reilly.
Really?
Yeah.
He's never told me about that.
Yeah, once I was hanging out with Terry Wu and he was like, you know who I just hung about with? He was like, we were on a boat together. We were just fishing. He's like, John C. Reilly.
He sounds like a guy you can just go fishing with.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
tracks.
both of them. Man, I can't believe you never told me that.
Yeah.
He's just hangs out with so many people just casually. It's like a normal day for him.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think he
unremarkable
thinks
for
that
him.
it's-
But
He spends a lot of time on Driftwood Island.
Yeah.
He's
John
like,
does?
Yeah.
wow.
He's like in cafes just smoking, writing his next script.
oh,
It's crazy that he's obviously known fully as an actor, but that he's got to that point now where in order to like fully use all of the John C. Reilly talents, he writes his own to make sure that it's all captured within.
in line with the Reilly milieu.
Yeah. Because why trust anyone else to fully capture it? Do it yourself.
It's true. And really that speaks to his abilities because he can be anyone at any time, any place. He's a brilliant actor. He can interpret anyone's words and make them his own in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't that make you want to wonder and want to know who he is at his core?
Yeah.
Sometimes in life,
Oh.
other people are ourselves. Sometimes in life, ourselves we must be. It's getting more Yoda, I feel like.
He's still in
There's
the fugue
fewer.
state. Wait,
There's like
it's not done.
fewer words. Yeah, but when he's in the fugue state, sometimes he goes into these like self-reflecting, like he edits himself, and it's really fascinating to be part of the conversation. It does feel as though there's fewer and fewer words in these, but the meaning's still there.
It's like jazz. It's the words that are not there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that better, do you think?
I think it's better the fewer words sometimes. I think you're just like getting to the point. Because like in jazz, it's better the less there is.
So that's one way of interpreting it's the notes that aren't played. Sometimes in jazz, it's better when there's no jazz.
Just less jazz.
Hey, that's why we love the cellophane cut of Chicago. It's just less jazz.
All that jazz?
Amen.
No.
No.
Less jazz.
Too much
Too
jazz.
much jazz.
Too much jazz.
Give me like 25% less jazz. That would be my note on the film. Just rein it in.
The moral of the film is that jazz and alcohol are bad. I mean, that's not really, that's the in-universe moral of their story.
I watched La La Land, and the whole thing with it was...
Did you get it now? Do you get jazz now?
I get it now, but it felt like the whole film was like, hey, I'm going to teach you jazz.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, audience, we're going to punch you in the face with some of the saddest shit we could think of right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, but jazz still exists. And I was like, I don't care about that.
Fun fact, you can describe Whiplash exactly the same way.
Yeah, I'm sitting over here feeling emotions now. Don't put jazz in front of me. That's the least emotion you can give someone. What, you want me to just like work out myself what the emotion should be? No.
Again, it's the emotions you don't feel.
Oh my God, honestly. Hey, it's real handy that Dirk that you keep bringing up, or at least write in your book, because
he's not back yet. It's still fugue. It's still fugue.
Fugue state. That's totally fine, because today's sponsor is, after all, Dirk Wiley.
Oh,
Dirk Wiley's first book, and quite frankly,
he is not responding to this.
He's not responding to this because he's still self-editing book 2. Mm-hmm. But I just want to personally say I think it's a great read, fun for all the family, even your family pets.
Mm-hmm. Dalma loves it. Yeah. Dalma, my dog.
And I just think that if you haven't tried it yet, you should give a shot to the book, because it really not only gives you lessons for life, but also a little glimpse into the man, the myth, the legend, the fugue state, the 174 at last count different versions of Dirk Wiley. Now, I know that he's not put all of them into the book, but there's at least 74, I think.
Also, this is all you're just reading. This is the quote you gave for the back cover, right?
Literally the quote I gave for the hardback edition.
Yeah, it's a really long blurb.
Yeah, the blurb that you gave was pretty short, I'll be honest.
He's my friend and I like it.
Yeah. And hey, he's our friend and we like it. Because sometimes in life, Dirk goes into a fugue state.
Oh no, Penny's eyes just turned white. This is fugue Penny.
Sometimes in life, jazz is bad.
She doesn't mean it. She's in a fugue state.
Here's the thing about jazz. There's too many instruments.
What's that, Matthias? We gotta go?
No, Matthias, no. No, I have opinions.
Penny, I see you in the fugue state, Penny.
I have
Good
thoughts.
Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.